Right. Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Tried and Tested podcast. This is a dating and relationship podcast that talks about all things love, relationship, marriage, etc., etc. And so today we have a special guest. We have my sis Portia. Say hey, girl.
Hey girl.
So we are so excited to have you today. And we're just gonna get right into it. So the topic that we have for you today is it's kind of like twofold. So it is how to know he's not into you or interested, slash the warning signs that he may not be serious early on.
That's good. That's good.
so I so I think that this would definitely be able to help some people out in this dating game and navigating, just the clues and the signs to kind of like be aware of, in this day and age when it comes to dating.
Got you.
Okay. So first of all, I wanted to ask, are you single in a relationship or are you married? And if so, for how long?
I am married and we've been married for 4 years.
Okay, okay, all
Yeah,
right, all right. So,
4 years.
so we have us an expert on our hands, so we like to hear that. All right, all right. So, all right. So I guess the first question is, what are signs that a man is feeling you and wants to get to know you better?
Okay, that's good. So one of the signs that like men, they're naturally hunters, right? And I actually don't care what background they come from. I don't care how old they are. I don't care if they was raised by their mother, by their father. Bottom line, if they're into you, they're gonna do what it takes to get you. That's
Mm.
like a main sign. If they're into you, they're going to be proactive in getting you. I know like people say, well, what if he's shy? Once he gets that bite, knowing like, okay, she might be interested in me, he's going to do things to show it. For example, he's going to change for you. Like for instance, Don, like my husband, right?
Hmm.
When he was interested in me, he's somebody, he was not giving people rides. He was not he didn't like going out of his way for people. Like that was no. He did not go out of his way for nobody. He would travel 40 minutes just to pick me up from work. You know what I'm saying? Like he
Oh,
will, he would try.
nice.
Yes, he would travel 40 minutes just to pick me up from work. He would wait. He would come to the job, wait for me. I'm like, I'm working a double. Like, what you doing? He's like, no, it's cool. I'll wait outside. He'll wait outside. They'll go above and beyond for you. I have another situation where if somebody had like a pit bull, if they're interested, mind you, it's a female dog, right? The dog
Yes.
doesn't like other females. I know this is a bit extreme, but this is a personal example. They will get
Yeah.
rid of the dog for you. I'm serious. Like, if
Mm.
a man is interested in you, he's going to give you signs to show you, and he's going to pursue you, just as long as you're not, being disrespectful and making it seem like you're not interested at all. If you show him like, I am interested, he is going to go above and beyond for you.
Okay, okay. So what if like you're saying that he'll go above and beyond for you, but like I know you also mentioned that he would also pursue you. But have you
Mm-hmm.
seen situations where a man will pursue a female, but he's still not giving like what he needs to give? Like he gives a bare minimum, right? So
Mm-hmm.
he'll pursue you to take you on a date, but he only spend like, 15, $20, like, being a cheap date kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a
So,
good one. So that kind of goes into a woman, right? As
mhm,
a woman, you have to have that confidence that I'm really a ruby. Like I'm really priced higher than a ruby. Like I'm really a
mhm.
diamond in these streets. Like you have to have that mindset that I'm actually like being with me. That's probably your toppest honor that you could ever get in your life. Once
Mhm,
you have that, there's certain things you're not going to accept because you're not going to be afraid of commenting on that. It's one thing if he genuinely doesn't have it. He's up and coming. But if he's
mhm.
really being cheap, as a woman, you can make that known. And if he's
Okay.
interested in you, he's going to change because sometimes guys, there's women, they were talking to other women who didn't say anything, or maybe they was, around other guys or friends who say, I will never, they was in that environment where you don't drop money on women, unfortunately. But when you
Mhm.
have somebody that you're interested, you're willing to shift your mind. But sometimes as a woman, you got to step up and say, hey, what's going on? What is
Okay.
this?
Okay.
So.
So that's those are signs that he's feeling you. So how do you know like he wants to get to know you better? The same thing is that he's just kind of like just doing things out of the ordinary. What about like communication? Do you feel like texting someone every day shows interest, or does he have to pick up the phone and call, or does he have to want to see you? Like what like we trying to just get an idea for people who don't like because we're gonna get to why he's not or how he's not interested, but we want to kind of paint a picture for people about all the ways that he can kind of show you that he's feeling you and that he wants to get to know you better as a part of his life.
Yeah, that's really good. I think it really just depends on the distance and also how he communicates. There are some people I know that are really like serial texters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a texter. I prefer to call or speak in person. But there are people who are texters, so I do respect that. But after a while, he has to show like he wants to spend time with you. If a person is if they're going to want to spend time with you. If they're just texters and not callers, they may not want to speak to you over the phone like that. But in that
Mm-hmm.
case, they're going to want to see you physically. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Or if
Yes.
they're callers, they may not have to see you as much, but you might find y'all might be on the phone for an hour or two, just having a
Yes.
conversation about anything.
Okay, okay. So that, and I also want to bring something up about serial texters. I honestly feel like that if a man is a serial texter to you and you guys don't speak on the phone, I don't believe that he's really that interested in you. I think it's a cop out. It allows a man to kind of do his own thing, and then from time to time, like you can text all day and not think
Mm-hmm.
about a person. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so I feel like if you're not picking up the phone, because usually they want to hear your voice, and also, I mean, I feel like audio messaging is better than texting. You know what I'm saying? Like if
Yeah.
you, oh, go ahead.
No, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think audio messaging is better though, because I feel like at least with that, you can hear each other's voice. You can understand how they're, writing the message. And maybe they really are two busy people. So when they get a chance, they can kind of send updates to audios. But I feel like texting is the bare minimum. And I don't know, that doesn't sit well with me. I've actually experienced that before where the person could text you all day, but baby, he don't want you at all. Okay.
That's
So,
true. That's true. But that's why I said, like, if he's somebody that's Texas, in
mhm.
addition to that, he's going to want to see you face to face.
Yes.
Like
Okay.
if he's going to be somebody that texts you a lot, he's going to that same person's going to also be the one that said, hey, you want to go out to the movie, you want to go out to the movies, you want to go, have breakfast or something, you want to, let's go to the park, you want to, he's going to want to do activities with you, but based on what he likes to do, because he's going to want to have
Gotcha.
to see you. Now if he's just texting you and that's it, no. But there are some people that really are texters. Like I'm learning that. I'm like, wait, how do
Yeah.
y'all just text? I don't get it. But if they add on like I want to see you, then that's a sign that he's into you.
Okay. All right. All right. So we kind of have a little bit of information about how a man is interested in you. So my next question is, so if you don't see these signs, is it safe to say that he's not interested in you at all, or is there still a possibility of hope there?
There's still a possibility of hope, but I wouldn't really rely on it. If he's not showing that, if he's not trying to aggressively pursue you, if he's not going out of his way for you, if he's not trying
Mhm.
to shift his mind or shift his way, if there's a toxic trait in him and he's not trying to change, then I wouldn't put too much time in him. I would kind of like move on, and if he really cares, maybe he'll change then. But those are really clear, definitive signs. He has to want to spend time with you. He has to want to aggressively pursue you, and he has to want to change ways for you.
Okay.
If he's
Okay.
not doing that, that's a problem.
All right. No, that definitely makes sense. All right. So what if he shows signs of interest, but he's not intentional or serious about you? Have you seen that before where maybe a man can like a woman can think he's interested, he's showing me, but can you be interested but not intentional?
Yes, I think you can definitely be interested and not intentional. And when that happens, for me, that's when the siren goes off like, woo, woo, because now you're thinking that for me, in my mind, that makes me feel like you think you're the prize. So if you're not showing interest, that means you want me to pursue you? Absolutely not. So that
Mm-hmm.
in that case, you're actually getting put on. You're getting left on red, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm pushing you to the files. You're moving backwards. because
Okay.
I'm not, as a woman, we're supposed to be pursued, period. And so if you're
Yeah.
dealing with somebody that's not showing interest, then you're actually not, you're wasting my time now. And if you feel like, okay, wait, why is she not giving me the time? Your natural instinct, if you are, interested, you're gonna rise up to the occasion and do what you were already purposed to do.
Yeah, and that's true. I mean, because I've actually heard of stories where men do pick up the phone and they do call and they do FaceTime, but they never move past that step. They don't try to plan a date. They don't try to like, set anything up. It's kind of like now it gets confusing because it's like, wait, you're calling me every day, you're audio messaging me every day. I know all about your life, your family, but there is no intention behind it. And so I feel like that could definitely be a way that a man is showing you that, hey, I'm actually not serious about you and I'm not that interested, even though it looks like it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I
And
don't
you
know.
know something? Like, but and I will say, going back to, them changing their ways, sometimes as a woman, you may have to say something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they're used to being the one that's pursued, as weird as that sounds.
Girl,
And so
that's a whole, oh, Jesus. Like,
I'm
mercy.
trying to, let me just stay on topic. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying in
Mm-hmm.
that case, you may have to say, so what's up? Like, we having conversations. You don't ask women out on dates. Sometimes you have to say those questions. Now, if they take now what they do with that determines, how far we're going. If they're like, because then they'll be like, wait a minute. No woman's ever said that to me before, or oh, you know what? Yeah, let's hang out or something. Or if they don't move after that, that lets you know that they're clearly not the one.
So, but my thing is that I feel like, would I have to ask a man that if he takes women out on dates? Like, I get what you're saying, but I feel like if I have to do that, then I'm just like, bro, come on, because you knew, and I feel like this is probably another topic altogether, but I just feel like with men and mixed signals, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
a man that is single and he don't want nobody is living his best life, right? Now, a
Mm-hmm.
man that is single, but you're interested in somebody, like you said, you're putting in that time and that effort. But when that time and that effort doesn't go past the phone, it makes you wonder, like, well, why is this man sitting up on this phone, telling me about his mommy, his daddy, his brother, his sister, his job, his, kids, whatever it is. You get what I'm saying? Like, so it's kind of like for me to say, like, do you not take women out on dates? I wouldn't even say that because I feel like you haven't probably told me that you're interested in me. You get what I'm saying?
Well, for me, I'm the type like me, I'm aggressive, right? And that just is what it is. So, and I don't like, and I really value my time.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I'm not going to ever do is be on the phone with you, kikiing for days and weeks, and we don't go on a date. So
And
that's just
months.
I don't do the time wasting. I don't do time wasting. You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
know, and that's just how I am. I don't want to go off topic, but
No, it's
I really
fine.
don't play when it comes to my time. And so I need to know where you're at. I'm not this time. I'm not gonna be like, so what's your plans? Like, that's not what I'm saying. But I am
Okay.
gonna say something. I am gonna give you that bone and say, hey, so what's up? You don't take women out on dates. You don't. What's up?
Yeah.
That's something I would do. Now, if that's a turn off for the person, that's cool. You weren't gonna say you wasn't gonna bite, so you weren't gonna ask me, so it's fine. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? I can care less,
Yeah.
right? But if you're
Yeah.
saying, but if you go ahead and say, like, oh wow, I'm sorry, because sometimes people really, their environment, what they've been around, sometimes they don't know, or they're used to a type of woman. They may be used to somebody who they don't have to do barely anything for. And so now you have a woman that's actually of substance, because
Mm-hmm.
right? And so
Yeah.
now they're like, wait, I got to step it up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. So I guess we kind of discussed this question with I was gonna say, how can you differentiate what his motives are? But I guess we can differentiate, I guess in this case, by just asking, to kind of figure out like, what is it, But I want to rewind because you mentioned about the time wasters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why do you think that there are men out there that waste people's time?
Yeah, I mean,
I
and
mean, because
shout out to the good man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my husband. Shout out to the good man before I answer this question. Because I just, because we taking it there, right? But
yeah.
you have men who really be bored and lonely, right? They have nothing to do.
Hmm.
They just really want to talk to women. They really, I mean, there's some men out there, they just like the perfect male friend, right? They really just like to have conversations. Or, there's other ones who are actually just weird, right? They have a whole situation going on. And so they want to talk, but they still want to entertain other women. And then you have the other ones that they're not sure what you got going on, if they could try to play you. So they got to kind of test you out to see, okay, if it, I'm talking about the ones with just terrible intentions.
Yes,
They
yes,
got to
yes.
kind of see, like, all right, let me try to test her out. Let me try to see like how far I can take this. Let me see, is she gullible? Is she easy? Is she, like, what does she not play? Does she, And so they'll
Yeah.
kind of test it out and drag it to see like what is it, where your standards are.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. And so, do you think that it's possible that a female could have it wrong, that a man could be interested, and women who know sometimes women have been so hurt or they've been drugged so much through this dating scene and they're so worn out that sometimes they get, they start to kind of judge men ahead of time. So, like, is
Yeah.
it possible that he is interested, but she's just tripping or reading into things too much?
Yeah, I mean that's a huge possibility. Excuse
Mm.
me too, but because a lot I know, I've known women that I would have conversations and they would literally say all men are trash, and I'm like, well, if you say it, I'm like, well, I didn't, I didn't have that experience. I think if your mindset is like that, and then mind you, you say all men are trash, but you still want a man, right?
Yes,
Which
yes,
either you're gonna attract men who really are, right?
yes.
Or, you're just gonna view the man can just, I mean, he could like stub his toe or something, and you're gonna immediately think the very worst of him. And so some of these women, a lot of these women need healing. Before you need
Yes.
healing and self-love. I think if you've been in a situation, I was in a toxic relationship before.
Mhm, mhm,
And
mhm.
so I had to, by the grace of God, right? I was my husband, my now husband, he was able to love me out of that. But there are certain situations where, people are in top, they come out of these bad situations and some are really battered, right? And then they may
Yes.
come out, especially those who suffered abuse, and now they want to abuse the next person, or they were cheated on, and anything the person does, they're hesitant. You text a person, they don't reach back within a day, or they could really be busy, and then you just trying to
Mhm.
send fire ahead, like, what, don't even worry about it. I'm not that interested anyways. And so
Yes.
I just
Oh
think
my
a lot of these
God.
women need healing. A lot of these women need
Yes.
really self-care. Self-care is a thing, man. I'm learning that in 2023.
Yes. Oh wow. All right. So what do you think? Like let's just say a woman found a man, he's in from what we were talking about here, he may not be showing the interest that he needs to show, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know you mentioned earlier that you would definitely give him a bone. You would probably try to ask, but some women just kind of be like, you know what, whatever. And so, do you feel like if a woman is to leave or move on from a situation, and the man tries to get her back, or tries to get back with her, how should she assess the situation? Do you feel like you should kind of double back, or do you feel like he's shown his true character, move on when it comes to showing interest and being serious and intentional?
That's a great question. I think that, it just depends on what made her, you know, fall back. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Because if it was something that he just wasn't intentional, or he wasn't as responsive, and now he's trying to come back, now you have to figure out, okay, A, what made me fall back? And B, am I really still interested? Is he worth it? And
Mm-hmm.
because, and sometimes, we do have to extend grace. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said,
Okay.
a lot of these men really, I mean, their environments, they were not, you know, sometimes their boys taught them, you know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
they don't know, they may not know. And like I said, if they are interested in you, if after you've shown them, listen, I'm really the prize here, and you move on, and they're like, wait, what did I do? I messed up. Because you know how they are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
try to step up. Now you
Yeah.
have to assess, hey, why did I fall back? Like, did I fall back because I see him talking to a bunch of different women? Or did I fall back because I'm reaching out and I feel like I'm pursuing you? And so
Mm-hmm.
after that, you realize, okay, is it worth giving him another shot?
Okay, and I also want to let the ladies know extending grace is not the same thing as being taken for a fool and continuously giving
Oh
him chance
yeah.
after chance after chance. At some point, you got to let it go. Okay,
Word.
but no, this was really really good. I think it really gave the listeners an insight on how to know a man is not interested, and also the warning signs early on, because you don't want to wait until it's too late to get these warning signs, because by that time you may already like them and it may be harder to let go. So no, I really
Hmm.
really I like this conversation, sis, and I
Yeah, it
thank
was
you so much
fun.
for yes, I thank you for taking out the time. So once again, this is Portia. Portia, if they wanted to follow you on social media, how could they find you?
You can find me at Portia Janae. So that's PortiaJanay. You can find me there.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, listeners, so much for taking the time out to be with us today. Let me know if you have any questions. Once again, my name is Tracy. I am the host of the Tried and Tested podcast, which is all your things of dating, relationships, marriage, all of that. And you can find my description information in the bio. Thank you guys for tuning in and have a wonderful day.
For having me,
Bye-bye.
Tracy.
Bye.